tequila in here help it to mush? Probably
no,
not, eh?
but you can have another shot to get some energy.
G'day, welcome to Chef's Favorite. I'm James Grass. Today, we're at Taco Mio filming with my good friend and former colleague, Fernando. Fernando makes some of the best Mexican food I've ever eaten. He has 3 locations, here at Strathcona, a store out at UBC, and one in North Van. Today, we're gonna be trying his carnitas, and it's cooked in this pot right here, 24 hours a day. They are constantly turning over a new batch of carnitas just for you. Taco Mio, let's go. I'd like to welcome Chef Fernando.
G'day, mate. Good morning. Hello, James.
Very, very excited to be shooting with you today. I can't help but notice there's a few statues in the way of our cooking station.
Yes, we have some amazing tequila here from Mexico.
Okay.
And before we get going, maybe we should do a shot.
I think that's a great idea. Oh,
do that.
baby. How much is too much?
Good pour.
Salud,
Cheers. Salud.
thank you.
Yeah, gracias.
Oh yeah. This is gonna be a great episode. What are we gonna make today?
We are making a few traditional things. First, we're gonna make our Molcajete Salsa, and we're also gonna make Carnitas.
Okay.
Carnitas is one of my favorite things to eat. It's a very unique way to cook some pork, and it takes a long, long time.
Amazing. So that carnitas you have at the commissary, that's running in that copper pot, cooking in 12-hour batches, but it runs 24 hours a day.
24/7, yeah.
Wow.
The reason why the pot is not that big, so we need to control the quality of the pork, the amount that we put in. So it's quite a way to do it right. One batch goes in, it comes out, and then we keep going all the time.
Now, when you say it's not that big, it looked gigantic to me. How much carnitas does that cook?
80 pounds at a time.
The Taco Mio is pumping some volume then.
We are.
Wow.
We're getting busier, so carnitas is one of the main things on the menu. They're very
Amazing.
popular because the way they're cooked, so it's a very traditional way, and it takes 12 hours. So we can only do that one at a time,
Okay.
and there's no other way to do it. We do it the right way.
Wow. You have the commissary in Strathcona.
Yeah.
And then you have a store in North Vancouver.
Yes.
And one in UBC.
Yes.
And so the commissary produces the food for all of them, or some of the food, or how does that work?
We have a very unique way to operate our stores. We do some of the cooking in the commissary kitchen. We send it to the stores. They have their own way to cook. But our menu in the commissary kitchen is bigger. We have a huge kitchen, so we can do many things that the stores don't have.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now I've had Taco Mio delivered to me through the various food apps. I could not believe how fresh it is when it arrives.
We put a lot of effort into that. We don't use any plastic. Everything is biodegradable, compost. So our packaging is very important to the way the food is delivered to you, especially when you're gonna order something at 8 o'clock and you get it at 8:30. We wanna make sure that the food is as best as we can give it to you.
Right on.
Yeah.
Fernando, I'm really excited to learn about this traditional salsa. How do we do it?
Perfect. So the first thing we need to do, we need to get some of these veggies going. We're gonna roast everything on our cast iron grill.
You've got it running at like high temperature over there?
Yeah, that's as hot as it gets.
When did you open Taco Mio?
We opened our first Taco Mio in Gastown 7.5 years ago.
Wow.
It took me 2 years to plan Taco Mio, just from
Financing.
research and financing and everything.
Yeah.
Then we opened the first store in Gastown. It was very small. It was challenging for sure, but we're lucky enough to have grown.
And that Gastown location's no longer there, eh?
No, our lease expired in Gastown, and we decided not to renew the lease. We opened the UBC store, North Vancouver, and then our kitchen.
Wow.
Okay, James, I'm gonna get you to help me. So if you could please get some of the onions on the grill.
Okay. Oh, smell that.
Maybe get some of the tomatoes there, like 4 tomatoes.
Okay.
Just put it right on the grill.
The whole thing?
The whole thing, just put them all there.
Wow. Bottom down?
Yeah, bottom down. 2 of our tomatillos here.
A tomatillo.
These are kind of like a green tomato.
Okay.
They have a very unique taste and flavor. Actually, there's 3.
Are these going on whole as well?
Yeah, everything goes
This is
whole.
rowdy.
Just make a little bit of space in there.
Kind of waxy, hey? When you
little
take
bit, yes.
when you take
Yeah.
the skin off, like what is that waxiness? Is it just
It's
like
a natural, there's something to them that makes them like that. but the flavor is amazing.
Okay.
They're hard to get here sometimes, but we go through hundreds of pounds a week.
Can they grow in Canada?
Yeah, actually, we grew them some in the rooftop.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So these are as fresh as it gets?
Yeah. These are
0 mile diet?
Yeah, these are from a rooftop, which is amazing.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I'm not sure how spicy you want it, so we can make it as hot as we want.
Let's go with hot, but not crazy hot.
Perfect.
Because I've had your chicken wings. Whew.
So let's put a couple jalapenos. This is nature, so we cannot control how spicy they are. Sometimes the peppers, they could be super hot. Sometimes they're not hot at all. Sometimes we got customers complaining the salsas are too spicy. We have 4 salsas. The one that is mild sometimes could be hot, and you know, each recipe has like 20 to 25 pounds of peppers. So
Hey, it's God's will.
we don't change the recipe. It's just
Mother Nature wants it to be spicy, you
the
get it
peppers
spicy.
are hot
All right.
sometimes.
All
Yeah,
right.
just throw them on the grill.
The smells coming off that hot plate are just ridiculous, by the way. Between that and the carnitas, you have orange bubbling away. Is that pineapple?
No, it's all orange. We are making it the traditional way from Michoacán. It's called, the city is called Quiroga. It's very traditional. This is the way they do it. There's many ways to do it. Everybody has their own recipe. This is our take on the carnitas. Some of them, they add Coca-Cola to them, which is very weird. I just don't want any Coke. We don't use any of the chemicals, so it's all natural. So for us, just spices, our secret recipe that we have, and oranges. That's
Yum.
it. The secret is the pot.
And this is from the region that you grew up in? You grew up in Mexico?
I grew up in Mexico. This is not from the region where I grew up. This is from a city that is nearby, but we're doing it the way they do it over there. I was born in San Miguel de Allende. It's a small little town about 4 hours northwest from Mexico City. It's a very old traditional town in Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that where you fell in love with food or you were introduced to it?
My family had a bakery.
They had a bakery?
Yeah, when I was growing up, my mom and my dad, they had a bakery. And I always liked food. I always been around food. And in Mexico, it's very, it's one of those things where you have street food all over the place, right? So when you go out and when you're a kid, you get to eat all these random things on the street. I'm very picky and, you know, I don't really eat a lot of stuff, but like some of the street food is worth it. And having that around me and growing up, it made a big impact in what I do.
Was there a favorite dish from your childhood that just like you stays with you today?
Mexico is so unique and diverse. There are so many dishes, but one of my favorite things to eat is something so simple. They're literally fresh chickpeas, like just an amazing fresh chickpea.
Yeah.
They're seasoned and they're boiled, and you eat them like edamame. So pretty much it's the Mexican edamame. That is by far my favorite thing to eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
I know, it's very unique. We tried to grow them in the roof and we had a bunch. And me and my sister, we like them both. And you know, we fight for what we can grow sometimes. And we really enjoy them. It's something so simple, but I really enjoy that. It's a childhood memory.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you moved to Vancouver?
I was 17. Yes.
17.
We moved here in 1999.
Now, when we got to meet each other, it was 2007. I had just moved to Vancouver, and you were working at the Vancouver Club, and you were already fairly well along your hospitality journey, if I recall, at the same time. You were a sous chef, I think, even when I started.
Yes.
And you were quite young at that time.
I was, yeah. I was very lucky. When I started at the club, I started as a server. So I started.
I didn't know
I was
that.
a server at the time. And,
So that's why you're always critiquing my skills.
No, I mean, you know, I was a server at the time, and then one day something happened in the kitchen and there was an opening, so I applied. I got the job, and I worked my way up to where I left. Yeah.
Well, we had some fun when we worked together, a lot of amazing dinners, but I gotta tell you, the one thing that stole the show every time whenever you were cooking was your guacamole.
The guacamole?
The guacamole, I gotta tell you folks, if you haven't had the Taco Mio guacamole, maybe the best in the world. I don't know, you'll have to try it for yourself. Are we gonna be making that today?
We're not making the guacamole because that's a Taco Mio secret recipe.
It's a secret recipe.
But we're making a Molcajete Salsa, which is almost as good.
Okay.
And you'll be the judge of that once we're done.
Yes, I will.
Let me just flip this
Yeah,
over a little bit. Maybe
perfect.
you want to do it? You want to help me?
Sure. Even if they do that though?
Yeah. As long as they get in that chart, that's all we need.
Just need the char, get the
While
char.
you're doing that, I'll check on
Yeah,
our
give it a stir.
carnitas here. Let's make some salsa now.
Let's make
Okay.
some salsa.
This is one of my favorite things to use in the kitchen. This is the Mexican blender.
This is the Mexican blender.
This is the Mexican Vitamix.
And are these the blades?
And these are the blades right here. So this is a very unique mortar pesto. It's made out of volcanic stone.
Cool.
So it's very unique. It's not like the marble ones that you see in the store. We got this from Mexico, and the way to use it, you season it first with a little bit of salt, which we already done that, and then you never use soap. That's one thing, one mistake that sometimes people do. These are porous, so it will absorb whatever flavor you have in here. So it's one of those things where you use a little bit of water, rinse it, salt, but never soap.
Got it. And so there's already, in essence, a flavor.
Yes, yeah.
That's already going to be in there that'll transfer into the salsa.
There's something so unique about it that the flavor, the consistency, the texture of it is very different from making this in here than using a blender. In Mexico, you know, we've been using this for thousands of years, right? Like before, there's no blenders, there's none of that. So this is the Mexican version of it. Of course, there's really big ones, there's smaller ones. This is just to make a little bit of salsa for us.
Yeah.
The first thing that we need to do here, let me get a pair of tongs. We have some of the ingredients that we already roasted over there. Let's start crushing.
So we're not even going to chop it, we're just going straight in.
So all you need to do is crush them a little bit. The onions are always the most difficult thing to do.
They don't go down without a fight, eh?
No, they don't.
Do you want me to have a crack at that while you actually do
Perfect. You want kind of like a paste consistency.
Oh, I'm getting in there. This is bloody hard. Would tequila in here help it to mush? Probably
no,
not, eh?
But you can have another shot to get some energy.
Okay.
So let's do one more tequila.
Thank you.
One for you. One for me.
Old heavy paw Fernando. Still got it, hey? Salute, my man. Pleasure to be shooting with you.
Perfect.
You could just like drink a lot of that, hey?
Well,
That's good tequila.
We have 2 bottles. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I take a little piece and then kind of grind it, and then slowly get one more.
Yeah, I guess there's no fast way to do this, is there?
No, it's just a labor of love.
The tequila certainly makes you a lot.
The tequila makes it go faster.
Yeah.
Our carnitas are almost ready.
Oh, it smells
They
so
look
good.
Amazing.
It's behind chef.
The onions are done. I like them chunky, and then the rest is literally like really. Just be careful because the tomatoes and everything will splash.
Oh, we're gonna put the tomatoes in here too.
So everything goes in there. So we'll save that on the side.
Got it.
And now let's get a couple of tomatillos there, and then crush those down gently.
Easy. Oh. Yeah, no worries, no worries,
those are
mate.
easy.
Yeah, no, easy. I wasn't worried at all.
Just be careful, don't get it all over you. And then 2 jalapenos.
This is rowdy. I've never done anything like this before.
Oh, it's amazing. The flavor.
I can't
you'll see
wait. Look at the smells coming out of this thing. It's bananas. Look at the colors. Is this what we're making? One of the salsas that's available from Taco Mio? Like you can buy it?
We have our chip salsa. It's very similar to this. Of course, we cannot produce 500 liters of this every month, but the salsa that we have for our chips is very similar to it. It's just the big version of it. Then now incorporate the onions in there, maybe.
Oh, this is the
This
is the chunky ones.
Yeah, mix them all there, and then let's add some cilantro to it. Mix everything well.
Wow.
And cilantro in here. We have one of my favorite chilies here. These are called arbol peppers, and they are a little bit spicy, so we need to control how spicy we want it. But one pepper is pretty hot.
I remember doing a big Super Bowl party, and I said I wanted hot wings, and you made some wings that had people legitimately crying at their seats.
Well, you asked
Is
for
that
hot.
from these chilies?
More or less.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, good.
Arbol peppers that we have here, we need to roast them a little bit. And then you need to make a little room. Maybe push everything a little bit.
Do you want
to
like a
one
hole
side.
in the middle or just
no,
in the
maybe
corner?
to the side. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Because you're gonna be grinding those up in there.
Okay.
There.
In there.
Maybe let's do one more.
And are these chilies from Mexico as well?
Yeah, they are. We work with a lot of local suppliers, but we also need to bring a lot of real Mexican ingredients. All the peppers that we use, a lot of the chilies, a lot of the spices. There's nothing to compare that flavor. We have to use the real Mexican ingredient. Our meats come from a local butcher,
Who's your local butcher?
Chioffi's.
Chioffi's?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of my favorite butcher shops. We've been using them for many years, and I know Reno since the Vancouver Club. So
Okay.
it's one of the top butcher shops in Vancouver.
Got it.
We use 7 Seas for our seafood.
Okay.
They're really good. They're very reliable.
Yeah.
And we use quite a bit. That looks really good. So the next thing we need to do is add a little bit of salt. Give it a good mix.
Is there a Mexican salt bay, or is that just a...
No, there's no Mexican salt bay. And there's only one way to try the salsa, right? We need some of the tortilla chips.
Taco Mio chips. Get your chips.
So we make these chips in store, small batches, and we make a lot of chips.
I bet you do.
So grab a chip and taste it and see if it needs more salt, more spice. Let's see.
Oh.
Oh, that's spicy.
That's
That's good. That's really good.
Okay, that is awesome. The onion is so robust. The chili is right up in your business.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Now, I noticed that your chips have their own little seasoning on them.
Yeah, they do. They have a secret spice. They got 21 spices, and the way they're cut is very unique too. They're not.
They're very dippable.
Yes.
They even got like a little scoopy spoon ready to go.
They're meant to be like that, so you can
I
actually
mean,
enjoy it.
Come on. All right, chef. I'm gonna save some salsa for the rest of us.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'll run downstairs and get some more cervezas.
Oh, cervezas.
And yeah, ooh. And then we'll get stuck into a little bit of your delicious carnitas, yeah?
Perfect. While you do that, I'll clean up and get ready for some carnitas tacos. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, my man. Okay, so we got the carnitas, we got the tacos. Anything else I need to know about it?
This is very similar to what we have in the stores. The pulled pork carnitas, everything's been cooked for 12 hours. Just garnished with a little bit of some fresh onions and cilantro.
Yum.
And our amazing molcajete salsa that you help make.
So good.
And then the next thing we need to do, maybe add a little bit of lemon to it.
Lemon.
Sprinkle a little bit. And then let's get into it.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Oh, okay. I just took the biggest bite. I was so excited. Right out of the gate, that salsa molcajete.
Molcajete.
Molcajete comes straight through, and then that nice saltiness of the pork. Is it pork shoulder?
Pork shoulder, yes. We use pork shoulder. I really like the texture of it. It has enough fat, so it's not dry. It's not too fatty. And then, it's been cooked for 12 hours. It's been confit in pork fat and all the spices and all the orange flavor. That's what gives it that very unique
The
flavor.
orange is subtle.
Very solid.
It's subtle, but it's there, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't want to overpower it. It's a pork taco. It's not an orange taco. So the orange is there. It's a little citrus, very light because the pork is a little bit heavy.
Now these tacos are the actual shells.
Yes.
Flour or corn?
They're corn tortillas, so they're gluten-free corn tortillas, but they are as good as you get. So they're pretty much the same thing that you will get in Mexico. These are custom made for us. So
they're custom Taco Mio taco shells.
Yes, they're specifically made for us.
A lot of the produce is local. You bring in a lot of the spices and those sort of extracurricular elements from Mexico.
Yes.
But I also noticed that you make your own chips, which we tried,
Yes.
and you also have your own beverage line.
We do. This is especially a very unique, very traditional Mexican drink. It's agua de Jamaica,
Okay.
hibiscus iced tea. In Mexico, you will drink this everywhere, especially on a hot day. It's amazing. And this here is our take on a horchata. But we had to adjust the recipe a little bit to the Canadian market. So we did a lot of research and a lot of testing, and we came out with the vegan version of it. So there's no dairy in it. It's coconut milk, which is very unique, very different. And we are one of the few places that actually have it, and we sell hundreds. Just give it a good shake, and then try it.
Oh yeah. I could see that turning into a pina colada real quick, hey?
It's not as heavy as the coconut. This is very refreshing on a
That
hot
tastes
day.
like a summer day, doesn't
Summer
it?
day, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ways to drink it is I put a bit of ice and some sparkling water and some hibiscus tea in it. And it's very refreshing.
You ever put tequila in that as well?
You could add some tequila.
Oh, how about that? I want to have another bite of your delicious taco. What I'm thinking is I'm going to load it up with a little bit more spice, a little bit more onion, and then see how the horchata cools things down.
If you want the spicy,
Yeah,
get the pepper pieces.
Get this
yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that guy. Pass me the jalapenos. I'll slap a couple more in there. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, enjoy it.
Whoa. What kind of chili was that again?
Arbol. It's called the arbol pepper. I really like it.
It works.
Yeah.
The theory works, it
Yeah.
cuts it, but it's still pretty hot. It's still pretty hot. Let's learn a little bit more about some of your favorites. Do you have a favorite coffee shop in the city?
I used to go to Timber Train.
Timber Train?
Yeah. It's a
Okay.
few blocks away from where we are in Strathcona, so I usually go there.
Yeah.
My friend owns it, so I go there quite often.
They do some nice work.
Yeah, they do their own roasting, and it's a really amazing coffee.
What's your favorite place on Granville Island? Do you have a favorite place down there?
Oyama.
Oyama sausage?
I love Oyama. My kids love Oyama. We go there, we buy some pates, we get a baguette, we go to the seawall, we sit there and we just eat it. It's just-
These kids are sophisticated, hey?
My wife's a chef, I'm a chef, so we eat amazing. We cook a lot, and we want our kids to eat the same way, so they eat everything.
Yeah.
And by everything, I mean everything.
Everything,
Yeah.
straight at it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite food neighborhood?
I have a few, I guess. Commercial Drive, I really like Commercial Drive. It's very diverse,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of nice places there.
Some of the favorite producers that you work with?
For me, I think one of the best suppliers that we have is Shoffi's. It's a butcher shop. They've been around for many years, and I use them a lot. But like all the proteins are the best quality proteins that we can get.
Right on.
Yeah.
What about your fresh vegetable produce?
We use a lot of Fresh Point. I know,
Fresh Point.
Yeah, I know it's a big corporation and they're pretty big, but the quality is really good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If there was one cuisine that you had to eat for the rest of your life, where would you be going with that?
Of course, being
Mexican.
Mexican and eating the way we eat, and I like family style meat. So whenever I cook something, I always cook a lot.
Let's talk about chicken wings. It's a big topic on Chef's Favorite. Flats or drums?
I think flats.
Flats.
Yeah, flats for me.
Now, in our time at the Vancouver Club, we got to work with some really big name chefs from all across the world. Is there any of those chefs that stick out to you in your mind as somebody that you really enjoyed working with?
I was very lucky when I was at the club. I worked with Sean for many years and I learned a lot.
Sean Cousins.
Sean Cousins, yeah.
Yeah.
He's an amazing chef. I learned a lot, and he could turn anything into an amazing dish.
Yeah.
He's an amazing chef.
Sean Cousins, love you, love working with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me ask you the final question of the day. You've got one meal before it's over, before you get shot into space, never to come back. What is your final meal?
That's a tough one. I mean, there's a few things that bring childhood memories to me, but at the end of the day, it's something nostalgic, something that makes you feel, it remembers a certain time in your life. For me, food is kind of like music. There's something about it. Like you take a bite out of something, and it brings you back to a specific time and a memory. Same with music. You can listen to a song, and then you're like, oh, I was there at that time, or I remember that. For me, the food is the same. So I have something that my mom used to make when I was a kid. It's caldo de camarón. It's
Say that again, caldo.
Caldo de camarón.
Okay.
It's a shrimp soup. It's very simple, like potatoes, a little bit of carrots, onions, and dry shrimp. It's a very Mexican way to eat it. And then of course it's got spices and peppers. Then she makes this soup, and the moment she heats it up and she makes it, I smell that and I take a bite. It brings back that memory. That's my favorite thing.
Takes you back to being a kid.
Takes me back. And if I could have that as the last meal, I'll be happy.
Wow.
Yep.
Fernando, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed today. That salsa's incredible. The carnitas, amazing. Great to catch up and share some old memories, my friend.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Another episode of Chef's Favorite. Make sure you check out Taco Mio. See what they're doing. Some of the best Mexican food in Vancouver. Please like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube page as well as our Instagram. We'd love to follow you, follow us. Till the next time, ciao.